last.
Are those new glasses?
No.
No.
He did cut his hair.
He cut his hair.
Is your hair shorter?
No.
He combed it differently.
His hair's wrong.
It's not Steve.
Is that a new shirt?
Do you have a hair hollow?
What did I do?
Did you get your ears lowered?
Yeah, I'm going to grind the gears here because it's the only way I can follow that. I haven't done this piece for a long time. It's called Still Remember. And it's about my visit to the Holocaust Museum in Jerusalem, particularly the Hall of Names. And unfortunately, as much as we've had a lot of explanations tonight, I don't really want to do that, but I kind of have to go with this piece. So, in this room, it's the last room in the museum. It's round, probably 30-foot high ceilings, and ringed 360 degrees with floor-to-ceiling bookshelves. And the only thing on the bookshelves are 3 ring binders filled with the names of the dead. At the time that I was there, which was 3.5 years ago, they were about half done. It was an overwhelming sight. But in the middle of the room, there is a cylindrical, almost like a chute. It's made out of stone or something, goes down through the floor. And beneath it, some maybe 12 or 15 feet below, is a pool of water. It's just dark and still. Above that is another, actually it's not a cylinder, it's more like a cone, another one that mirrors the bottom one. And that is lined with pictures, faces, names, dates, cities of some of the dead as well. And one of the stated intentions of the Nazis was to wipe the memory of the Jews from the face of the earth. And I saw this, I interpreted this room and the cones especially. The pool beneath that was like a black hole into which they hoped that they could shove the memory of an entire people for all time. But the intention was reversed. And the pool of water at the bottom of it reflects, when you look down into it, reflects the faces and the names and the cities and the dates above. This is my poetic interpretation of all that. It's called Still Remember. Blonde-haired, blue-eyed hatred spent itself without reserve and without mercy, bent on erasing the memory of an entire people from the annals of history, from humanity's memory. Like death, rain poured. I'm sorry, like rain, death poured, drenching all ages alike. Like a laser, it focused with unrelenting intensity. Like a dark angel dressed in light, hiding its true and cruel intent to the last and terrible moment. Grief and sorrow flowed from the still waiting remnant, fighting fear for preeminence in the collective consciousness, while reprieve's hope waned and waves of resignation eroded survival's resolve. Hatred, once finally spent, and in spite of its ultimate loss, still celebrated the mighty toll exacted on its reviled target. Certain success in the one respect was theirs to secretly treasure, namely, someone else suffered more. Yet life and hope prevail, reflected in the mistaken pool. What was premeditated as memory's black hole reversed the intention, so that echoed in its quiet waters, our names and faces recalled the more. This is a piece about experience I had, Pontiac, Michigan, 1964. It's called Scot Free. I don't know what you gained that day, possibly a sense of power or control, the thrill of conquest or revenge's relief. Maybe you passed to someone else, me, what had once been given you, reducing your pain at my expense. I have to wonder if what you got was something even you couldn't understand. I thought it something singularly cool to have a guy so much older and more important, I thought, than me, that wanted to spend time after school. But what you had in mind for me that day was something that had never entered my 7-year-old arena of awareness and shook my Leave It to Beaver world. I don't know what advantage you gained, but I know some of what I lost that day. I lost my innocent confidence in an idea. The idea that people are worthy of trust. That it's not in people to force themselves on another in violation of their desire. And I lost whatever need had been mine to remember all the days of my childhood. Blue sky existence in childlike optimism gave way o'er time to more clouded view. And my psyche pushed the memory into deep recesses of unconsciousness. Your name a vague remembrance, but not knowing why it floated ethereally there, occasionally surfacing for a moment, then fading as quickly into time's mist. Decades went by without a mention by any other person I knew who knew. Conveniently tucked into the archives of experiences forgotten or ignored. Perhaps in hope that time would erase the deeply graven scars completely. But private questions still haunted me, and unknowing hinted at the knowing. When at last the recurring fear confirmed what had been shrouded in mystery, and light shone bright on my wondering as long-hidden shame and grief emerged from the cave of ignorance and pretense, waves of relief crashed over my mind. What you took that day lost its secret hold, and what I lost was finally fully restored. This last one I've read quite a bit recently, but I don't know, especially when there are a lot of new people here, it's what I want to say. It's called Speak.
Yep.
You've a voice to speak and a pen to write, an incisive eye and an affinity for humanity's pain. Your world needs to hear what you've got to say. A cacophony of sound fills halls of learning, headquarters of commerce, and hallowed chambers of government. Whether raised in proclaimed certitude, indignant in protest or detestation, or urgent in benevolent warning, myriad voices pour out their expression, each insisting it's worthy of the listening. In the deafening assault, not every voice is heard, nor should they, truth be told. Contrary to popular opinion, not every idea is laden with equal merit. Don't be swayed by the prevailing winds, but instead press on to the destination of what's real, deep, unjust, and painful, and speak to these things that matter most. Don't measure success by the moment's applause, instead the look back, by which alone can reveal the credence of the real hearing you won. If in the end you've spoken the truth and prompted the stuff of a more just world, if you've been the mute's expression, there will be no regret for the expenditure, and your presently pounding heart can rest. You've a voice to speak and a pen to write, an incisive eye and an affinity for humanity's pain. Your world waits to hear what you've got to say.